January 28th, and a show that had a title match. It had title match made. It had story development. It was probably better than, not last week, but it's definitely better than the week before that. Last week, obviously, was the title match Haven show. So let's jump in and let's talk about NXT because there was a lot going on last night. It started with first match of Bayley and Julia versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. And, Bayley got a huge pop. Obviously, it's the first match back in NXT for quite a while now. But she got a massive pop from the crowd. They actually won Bayley and Julia via pinfall. Julia hits Cora Jade with a headbutt. Tags in Bayley off the top rope with the elbow. And they win. And look, it was a good, solid match. Julia is her. I can't lie. I really enjoyed Julia's performance in this match. And it was about damn time they put the title on her. And I think as much as I have my Royal Rumble predictions out tomorrow, this is a title reign that, hey, let this one run and let this one breathe, because I think you can make a superstar out of Julia for sure. You then have an Eddie Thorpe promo where he's basically talked about, hey, look, I've been overlooked in NXT. You can't overlook me for that much longer. I will make my mark. Usual sort of thing. You then had, I think, the most fascinating part of the show, the Grayson Waller effect with Obafemi. And, the usual stick happens with these sort of shows. You rub up the guest the wrong way, all those things, And then Obafemi was like, lads, if one of you wants this, you can get it. Okay. And Grayson Waller, there was a tease of, the breakup of A-Town Under. He was like, hey, I don't speak for theory, but you need to understand something. I've stood across from, Cena, Rollins, Owens. I never take a step back. I want that championship. Let's do it. And obviously Ava comes out and be like, oi, this is my show. I'm the GM around here, not you. Trick comes down. He's like, hey, that title's mine. He then obviously wipes out A-Town Down Under and then gets dropped by Obafemi. So they're still building on this story, leading into the second match with Trick Williams versus Wesley, who actually Wesley won via disqualification. It looked like Trick had just lost his cool. He's swinging chairs around. He's kicking people in the face that have chairs. I think is that these two could have an absolute banger match. So I hope they do run it back again at some point. But this was, I think it's just a story development and character development more so for Trick. But yeah, these two need to have a banger match at some point soon. Ava then creates a title match. The NXT Championship will be held at Vengeance Day in a triple threat match with Obafemi versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. So it's a bit of a handicap match inside a triple threat, which I think you can play into more of maybe a breakup between A-Town Down Under. We'll see. Trick obviously isn't happy. He's like, hey, these two don't deserve it. I deserve that title shot. And she said, look, you prove your point next week because you and Obafemi are going to face A-Town Down Under in a tag team match, which I'm actually really looking forward to that match. The third match tonight was Fallon Henley versus Shotzi for the NXT Women's North American Championship. With Fallon Henley retaining this match, you know what? The issue with the fatal influence and things like that, there's always shenanigans. And Gigi Dolan, Tatum Paxi on the outside, fatal influence, all breaking down, and normally that leads to the heels getting a sneaky win, which they did. I wasn't blown away by this match. You know me, I'm not massive into shenanigans when it comes to interference and things like that. The odd one maybe doesn't mind, but to have four people going at it on the outside, it just felt like it was a bit too much chaos for me. And it took away from the two performers, in the ring. So a bit of a shame on that side of things. There's more backstage chatter, blah, 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 blah. Ava then says that at NXT Vengeance Day, Julia will put the NXT Women's Championship on the line against Bayley and Roxanne Perez in a triple threat match. Then Cora Jay's unhappy with Roxanne Perez about throwing her under the bus. We'll just see how that dynamic goes. But again, a second triple threat match for the world title, which, to be fair, you could easily slot Cora Jade in there. And same as Trick Williams. It wouldn't shock me either. You then Ethan Page versus Cedric Alexander. Great match. Really enjoyed this one. I can't lie. I quite like Ethan Page, to be fair. I'll say it now. He actually won with a twist of fate, by the way, which I was like, yeah, there's got to be something there. NXT, TNA, Hardy Boys are both in TNA. There's got to be something there they're building to. They just drop that little nugget in there, wait for people to sort of nibble on it, then, give them the full meal. After the match, Javon Evans comes down, makes a save, and this time doesn't actually get clocked in the face by Evans and takes Evans and knocks him over the top rope. So there you go. Next week, you have Stephanie Vacker versus JC Jane. We also, with that, Stephanie Vacker, after the Fallon Henley match, came out and had a bit of a stare down. So, yeah, you know what happens there. And then the last match of the night was Bianca Belair and Naomi facing off against Metaphor for the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Definitely something interesting. Obviously, good match. Good match. Crowd really hot for this match, which was quite nice as well. What happened was Naomi was sort of rolled up for a quick pinfall, and it was I think she didn't kick out, if you know what I mean. Like it's 1, 2, roll. It went 1, 2. She hadn't even moved, and the referee sort of went, gonna slow that one down. Give them time. Rolls it back over for a second roll up. Naomi tags in Belair. They then hit the double KOD to win the match. So yeah, there was a lot of booing actually towards the end due to the. I don't know if it was a botch, but it did look a bit botchy. But good match overall, and the crowd were hot. Look, I don't know if it's a botch or not, but if it was a botch, the crowd were rioting nearly. It was hot as hell. So, like I said, this show was better than 2 weeks ago. Not as good as last week, because last week, obviously, like I said, there was championship matches galore. But this show was good. Obviously, you still had a couple of championship matches in there, which always adds to the prestige of the show. You have main roster with Bianca and Naomi and A-Town Down Under and Bailey. So really looking forward to that. Obviously, new championship matches lined up for Vengeance Day. That's going to be good. And yeah, I think overall a solid show. There were things that could have been better, but I think for overall, it was a solid show. Let me know your thoughts down below on NXT, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Peace.